Okay, so here's the painting. And here's this. So here's a black and white image that I printed out from the computer. And on it, I drew a grid. So you can print out any image you want for this. Hopefully something that you think is challenging or hard, because that's why you would use this. Then I made markings, and these are 1 inch. You can make them smaller if you want. These are also 1 inch. And then I drew lines. So I made markings on the top and the bottom, and this side and this side. And then I connected the line. When I was finished with that, I drew the grid on my canvas first. So I made 1 inch by 1 inch, and I connected from top to bottom and from side to side. Once you have the grid down on your canvas, you can number the squares if you want, and you draw from square to square. So you look at what square, this starts in, and it helps give you, a decent perspective of how to draw this correctly. So you go here, here, you're looking at where this hits this square. How many squares long is this? How many squares tall is this? Where does it come in this square? And then you draw it on the canvas. It really helps if it's something that you find challenging. If you want, you can use this to enlarge a painting. So you can do it on a black and white image, and then you can do it on a canvas twice the size. So if I had a bigger canvas, I would show you how to do that, but I just want you to understand the concept. So say you wanted to make this 2 times the size, or 3 times, or 4 times. So you do the same number of squares, but instead of 1 inch by 1 inch, you do 2 inch by 2 inch squares. And then you can do it twice the size on a canvas, and you still copy from square to square. This is what a mural painter would use to make a really big image. So say you wanted to do this on a huge wall. You could make these squares on the wall 1 foot by 1 foot, and then you could get it on the wall in correct proportions. So that's what we use it for, and it's a tool. So I'm going to use black and white paint and chiaroscuro to paint this rose. So I think I'm going to look for the dark areas first, and I'm going to get a bigger brush. I'm just finding a brush that I want to use. I'm going to set this small one aside, and I'm going to do the dark in the background. Hopefully the pencil lines, well, you could erase these after you draw it. So after I draw it, I could erase these in here. And I might still do that. But right now I'm just putting in the black. I know the black is going to go over the pencil lines and get rid of them. And this may need more than 1 layer, but I'm just getting the first layer down. And I'll do the smaller detailed areas with a smaller brush. I'm just doing the big areas. You can't kind of see that. Hold on. I'm going to leave it like this because this is the best perspective. So I'm just painting in black on the outer edges. And I'm just going to fill in this big area, and then I'm going to use my smaller brush. So I'm getting my smaller brush now to do the details of the outline. I may do another layer over this black. Okay, so I'm going to leave that alone, and then I'll see when it dries if I want to do another layer. Before I do anything, I'm clearing off this brush, and I'm going to see how, I'm going to try something really quick. What I'm experimenting is, does the white erase the pencil line? And it looks like it does. So if you don't want to, some people don't like, having their pencil lines show through, but the white is okay, so it'll probably be all right. So I'm starting with black, and I'm putting it in the darkest areas. And I'm going to put black in the areas that are like in shadow. And those are the major areas. I'm going to start with this petal, and there is some black right here. And then I'm going to go to a dark gray right outside of it. And then I'm going to go to a lighter gray outside of that. This painting will be done in layers. I'm getting black on my arm. Okay. So now I'm going to go to this petal, and it has a couple different grays. I'm doing the lightest one first. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a darker one. I need some more black. Hold on. 1 second. See what that looks like. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. A little bit of a darker gray. And this is probably going to take a few videos. I'm going to do a little bit of black right here. And a few layers. So this is what I've done so far. And let me move my arrow. And let me get some more black. So I'm going to do some kind of light to medium gray right here. This is chiaroscuro, and I want it to blend nicely. I'm going a little lighter over here. And I'm trying to look at this petal right here. This is white, and this is a light gray. And then I'm putting some of, I like to, like, say I'm using this light gray just to be economical and like not have to wash my brush so many times. I like to kind of move around the painting and see where I need to use the light gray. All right. And that way, but then I also want to blend. So you have to kind of figure out how you're going to do it. I'm going to take a look at this big petal right here and put some of the light gray right here. And some here I'm looking for areas on the petal. There is also some on the edge. I'm just mixing a little more of the light gray. And then I'm going to go lighter with some white, maybe a little tiny bit of gray in there for the rest of this. And let's see if I can cover, I think I'm covering the pencil marks pretty well. So that's not going to be a big worry. You can't really see them. Some artists start with, they don't like if they have a painting, they don't like seeing the pencil marks through the painting. So they will start just with paint. We may do something like that later, but that's kind of for a more advanced painter. For beginners, I do like using the pencil because it gives you kind of a defined area to paint in. Okay, so here I'm going to do the white or really, really light gray on this petal too. Okay, so I'm just looking around, seeing which one I'm going to do next. Remember, this is not the final. I work in layers, and I do want this to be a really nice looking painting, like a finished one, not a practice one. but I'm working around the painting. I'm going to get some black. And there's kind of another area of shadow in here. And I'm going to put a little bit here. There's a little bit more I haven't put in it over here. Hold on. I'm just trying to figure it out. There's some right here, and there's some right here. Okay. So now I think I'm going to go over here. So I'm going to do a dark gray. And I'm going to do a lighter gray also. After that, I'm going to work with a lighter gray. Okay. I'm probably going to go up first. So there's a little piece right here that has kind of a dark gray. And then a lighter gray. And it comes around right here. So there's dark gray or black. There's some darker areas on this, but I may put that in another layer. Right here. Going a little lighter with the gray. And then I'm going even lighter. Over here, do kind of a medium gray here, and then I'm going to get lighter out here. Okay. I guess I'm going to go up here, which is pretty light. So I'm going to do a light gray. Just mixing a little bit more. And then I'm going to go a little bit lighter on the top. I'm just using white, and I'm going to mix it into the gray. I need some more black. Hold on. 1 second. So I'm going to do black. And I'm going to just mix a little bit more kind of medium gray. And I'm doing this petal right here. A little bit right here. This is darker. Okay, so I'm going to take, this doesn't look perfect. It needs a little bit more detail work, but I'm getting the basics in. Here, I'm going to do kind of a darker. And then a little bit of a lighter. A darker. And then a lighter. That needs to be fixed. Okay, so I'm looking at this petal right here, and I'm going to put in, I need some water on my brush, a little bit of medium. And then I'm going to go lighter. On this, I'm going to go light. That's just a start. It needs more work, detail work, but I'm just kind of getting the basics in right now. On the bottom one, I'm doing some kind of medium gray first, and then I'm going to go lighter. There's some areas that are a little bit darker as well. This is just a start. There's a little piece right here, has some darker gray, and then it gets a little bit lighter, and I'm going to put some dark right here so this part will stand out, and I'm going to blend. Okay, so I'm going to take a little break from this tiny brush, and I'm going to go back to a brush that's a little bit bigger. I'm just trying to find one that I want to use. And I'm going to do the background again in black. So I'm getting some more black because the black looks too sketchy. So this is like kind of the first layer of the painting. And now I'm going to do the second layer. and really just kind of clean it up and make it pop out and add some more detail. But first I'm just going to clear up this black. So I'm just doing this really nice and dark. Just cleaning up the black, making it really deep. Okay, using a small round brush. I got a smaller brush out, and I'm going to add some detail with, let me move the arrow. First, I'm actually going to go around these black areas in here and fill them in one more time just to make them a deep, dark black. And this one as well. Okay, so now I'm just looking for any, I'm gonna try, I had black on my brush, but I'm gonna add a little white and make a really, really dark gray. And I'm looking for kind of areas that need outlining. I don't know, I'm trying to figure out if I want to use black. I may use black. Hold on. Just areas that need defining and outlining. Here. And I switched to this smaller brush because I thought I could do detail better with it. I'm not painting as quickly anymore. And it's already looking kind of better. Okay. I'm just looking to see what I need to do next. I'm going to go into this one. And put a little bit of dark right here. I'm going to put some right here. Some of the leaves have kind of line work that are like creases in the petals that seem like they are also kind of cross contour lines on the leaves. I'm liking the way the dark is helping define it. Okay. So here I'm going to put a little dark. And here are some kind of lines that they go with the curve of the leaf, but they're also showing shading. But that looks, I'm going to get some water on my brush. That looks a little too, hold on. Let me get some water. Just a little blending there. Okay, so just trying to see what I need to do next. I'm going to go into this little, area right here. And there's a lot of outlining here, especially in the middle. Just getting a little more water. There we go. And I do like the outline. I'm kind of contemplating outlining everything. But let me just kind of get the extra darks in first. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to outline here. Just getting some more water. A little bit right here. Yeah, feel free to change the picture in any way that you want. You don't have to copy exactly. It's a method where you can copy exactly, but you can make little changes if you want to. I'm trying to combine shading and line. And I think that the outline is really helping make it stand out even more. I got some black right here that I didn't mean. It was on my arm. Okay, so I'm just looking for other areas that I want to enhance. And a little bit up here. I'm looking at the picture, but I'm also kind of just going out of my head where I think something will look good. And once you get enough detail in, you can do that and not really have a risk of it looking bad. Outline this one. And a little bit of outline on this little tiny petal or overlap petal that's flipping over. And I say I'm just getting a little bit of white to clean up these black marks. But it's not perfect. I'm getting the white to go over the pencil marks that I didn't paint white. But it's pretty good. I mean, I can make it perfect, but it'll take me a couple more hours. But as long as you guys understand the concept, then we're good. And you should take a couple more hours. I just don't want to do like 20 videos on one painting. Just looking for other things I can correct. I have my white, right? So one other thing that I can do that I haven't done yet is make a few white lines. So that will really add to the texture of some of, it will change the dynamic of just the black line. And I think I'm going to stop there. I think you have the idea by now. It could take another couple hours. I would let it dry, and then if I was going to keep working on it, do another layer and blend and blend and blend. But I'm going to stop here